see. I wonder what Todd would have done differently if he got a hold of the Marvel license. It was among the whole gossip thing if Hasbro was to... And I wondered that myself, and I said my biggest issue would have been something like Spider-Man. Would he do Spider-Man, and could he do it justice? And then I looked at a couple of the figures that he's done that do actually move in Spider-Man-esque poses. Because I was on like a site where I could like see like, you know, posing photography and whatnot. And I saw a couple of things from the Frazetta lines, not Frazetta, sorry, from the McFarlane lines that very much made me feel like if he wanted to do it, he could do it. The real issue that comes up in that is how do I put this? To keep costs low is my guess. That's how he's maintained his price points. He also doesn't like to advance things. So you'd have a lot of people jumping in immediately with, where's the pinless technology? Where's this? I don't like this. These are ugly. Blah, blah, portions, yada, yada. But then portions are a funny thing to me. And Todd is a master of it. Todd was in comic books. That's where he started. And comic book people don't look like people. Todd existed in the 90s for comic book art. And if you remember, the ladies in the comic book world during that time, they looked a certain way. And the guys looked a certain way. And none of them looked human. Batman has one. I mean, if you really get down to it, none of them looked human. Like, everybody is exaggerated. His Spider-Man is exaggerated. That guy doesn't look like a human. Like, people don't look like him. That's why he could do the poses that he could do. It's the reason why action figures have always had a really tough time getting Spider-Man right, because Spider-Man would take these absolute inhuman poses because he would warp the anatomy. Comic books, those people normally have exaggerated proportions. And when you do that, and you do a figure of it, and people get mad like the legs are wrong and blah, 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 and the portions are all weird, well, that's comic books. That's an artistic styling. And you're looking at a guy who was in comic books who very much will emphasize the parts of the figure that he wants emphasized to get the effects that he wants. But would that translate well coming off of Marvel Legends? Would you come off of Marvel Legends and then have a whole new group of people that have to leave what they're already doing, Marvel Legends, and then go into his line and like try to buy his figures? And how many people would be so against it with the same arguments we've already had as if Todd took the line backwards and never give it the actual time of day to see if he has something up his sleeve, if he could deliver some figures that the others simply didn't do as well as he would do. I don't know. It's hard to say. And also, I would guarantee that under his watch, we would get a lot of things that we would have never got. Because think about how many times he's given us vehicles and motorcycles and things like that we simply do not get in a size scale like this. These figures right here often do not show up with a Batmobile or a helicopter or a Batwing or a motorcycle. It's not a thing. But you better believe we'd probably get a Fantasticar. We'd probably get a Blackbird and some cool things like that, a Quinjet. There's a very real possibility that under his watch he'd be willing to take certain risks that Marvel Legends just simply isn't willing to take. Because Marvel Legends, at the end of the day, like I said, it knows what it wants to do. It wants to sell figures. And right now, it's doing that. Why change? Why take the risk? They don't need to. They don't want to. And quite frankly, I don't know if I blame them sometimes. Because sometimes you take a risk and it bites you and it shuts down your entire toy line. It happens.
I have spoken. Take what you will from it.